What's up, y'all? It's another episode of Shorty Sneaker Conversations. Shorty C94. Obviously, I'm not at home, but we are here. Let me invite our guest. What's up, E Fiorentino31? How are you? But you done cop new lately. What's up, Hunter? See if I can get our guest. What the hell? What? What's up, everybody? What the hell? Okay, there we go. There we go. What's up, everybody? What's up, Zach? Trying to get our guest here. I'll send another. What's up, Santos Thread Shop? Just waiting on our guest. Well, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to make the show 30 minutes later. I'm actually, as you can see, I'm still out, but
Yeah,
I wanted to, do this. Appreciate you joining us.
I
Um,
appreciate I appreciate the invite.
oh, no problem, no problem. Well, I don't have any of my questions in front of me, so I'm gonna just kind of wing this a little bit.
No
But
problem.
tell everybody about yourself. Starting off, who are you?
Um, I'm Jennifer. My name's Jennifer. J Pink here on Instagram. Um, I work for FedEx Express. That's what I do, for a living. Um, as far as like collecting shoes, I started collecting shoes probably since early 2000. Around that time, probably while I was still high school, buy a few pairs that I could afford at that time. And once I kind of got to where I can buy the shoes at the quantity that I buy now, which was just a few years ago. So it has not been that long that I've been really buying shoes and really get into shoes like I have now.
Okay. Well, um, starting off, what did you rock today?
Well, actually, because I deliver, so I don't really my normally it's just usually black shoes, but I had on my Shadow One today. That's
Nice,
what I
nice.
I delivered. I did my shift in today. But normally, if I do, I would wear between that. I got my LeBron 14s. I might wear those. I might wear Air Max 90s. And then I have my LeBron 8s. I might wear those just because I had them so long and I don't really, care if I beat them up a little bit.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, let's kind of talk about your sneaker origins. What shoe really kicked it off for you? What was that first shoe where you were like, yeah, I need those?
Now, that shoe is probably the most common shoe that probably started everybody is the Concord 11.
Okay,
Now, I
okay.
didn't really know the name. I just saw that shoe. I remember that shoe. I was in fifth grade, and one of the girls had brought in the box, the original box that it came in. And when she showed that shoe, I was like, I really like that shoe. I gotta have that shoe. Where are those? And since then, it's like all I wanted was like maybe not necessarily that shoe. I just wanted a pair of Jordans. I just wanted a pair of Jordans because I grew up most of my school years was in Cleveland Public, so you really didn't couldn't rock a lot of shoes. You just rock basically was uniform. So it was navy blue, white shirt, and your school shoes, which was like a light dress shoe. and that was pretty much it every day. So it wasn't really like seeing a lot of kicks until I moved out at Bedford, where the dress code was different. You know, pretty much wear whatever you want. So I'm starting to see more different sneakers and shoes being worn, you know, in school.
Okay. Okay. I got you. So you said you were in fifth grade when the 11s came out?
Yeah.
Ooh, it makes me feel old. Oh man. Nobody called them Concords back then. They were just the patent leather J's.
Well,
You know.
that's all I knew of them as too. And then, you know, I think when they resurfaced and I actually was getting back into wanting to buy shoes and really get into sneakers, then I really looked up what they were because I'm more like I need to know exactly what they are because I need to know exactly where I could find them or how to get them. And when I heard out like the name of what they were, you know, now I'm looking for the name of shoes. So now I'm going buy shoes by what they're called, not so much as oh these are the 13s or these are the 14s, these are the ones. Like no, this is the shadow ones, these are the bread ones. I'm going at them by name because I want to know direct, like, what are they?
I got you. Now, how old were you when you moved to Bedford?
Um, 12. My grandmother, I lived with my grandmother at the time, um, where is when she took me, my sisters in, and we all started living out in Bedford and going to school from there.
Got you. Got you. Yeah, I know that was probably a lot different. I mean, I went to I'm from it. I went to Shaker, so there was no dress code there either. So going to school with well-to-do kids, middle-class kids.
Yeah,
Well,
it is a little, it was a little bit of a, I guess you say a little, not, I won't say a culture change, but just yeah, I guess you could say a culture change because you know you're talking about in inner city Cleveland Public, they pretty much kept things kind of strict where, you know, because of the way poverty was, you know, they didn't want nobody fighting over sneakers and shoes. It was already that kind of thing going on. So, you know, dress code was just the norm for me. So going to a school where my school clothes were, you know, a jersey or a t-shirt and some jeans and, you know, and a pair of tennis shoes that whatever shoes that my grandmother and my mother could afford to buy me at that time. That's pretty much what my dress code was. And it's just like I think about it now, you know, whenever I listen to like your lives, it's like I think back like I really only had three pairs of shoes that I only knew of. That was my school shoes, my gym shoes, and my play shoes, which was last year's gym shoes.
got you. Got you. Okay. I respect it. I respect it. Okay. Um. So why don't we just fast forward a little bit to high school? So you went to Bedford.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. When did you come out?
2003.
2003. Okay. All right. So, retros are already in full swing by then. They've
Mm-hmm.
introduced us. Nike, not only the Jordans, but they're bringing out other basketball and runners. What was kind of your go to in high school?
Funny, my senior year where I really started to be more where I can get my own shoe. I really didn't. I think the first shoe I actually bought with my own money was a pair of Sauconys, which then I called them Sauconys.
Yeah, we
Unfortunately, we all called them Sauconys. But I had a pair of red and white Sauconys that I had bought. They were $50 at Lady Foot Locker from Randall.
ooh, Randall Park Ball.
I
Oh,
Randall Park Mall. You know, it's funny. I drive back by it all the time, and being like I said, I work for FedEx Express. Um, we do drop offs and pickups from Amazon. So it's like you drive over there, and I like to think of as my childhood and just going there just to go and just kick it. You wasn't even trying to buy nothing. You just wanted to get out the house. You wanted to go somewhere and just see whatever was going on. You just wanted to go to Randall.
yeah. One of my most prized possessions is I have a Randall Park mug that I found thrifting one day some years back. Um, and I posted it, and people were like, "Let me buy that. Let me buy that." Like, that's one thing that I had to just have all the time because I mean, I worked in Randall from '98 to 2001, mainly at Kaufman's, but I worked at Camelot Music for a little minute. I was a key holder at Hallmark, and in Randall. That was like my first little manager job. So back in 2000, and yeah, it's a lot of memories. But that was definitely probably my all-time favorite place to get sneakers. And like yourself, I mean, it's probably the same difference distance in opposite directions, but you know, it wasn't that far from the house. You know,
Right, right,
stone's throw from Randall, just like Bedford is. So
right.
I got you. I got you. Okay. Well, what's what's kind of like your go-to shoe now? Like,
Um, my go-to shoes depends on what I feel like wearing for that day. I don't
oh,
have like a actual like go-to like for the most part. It depends. Like if I'm looking for something more of extremely comfortable, I might go with my Jordan 13s because I really like those a lot because they're comfortable. I can a way they look like with jeans, um, shorts. It really varies. Like I don't really have like a real go-to shoe. It's just about how I feel about that day and what shoe have I not worn yet.
I got you. I got you. Now, do you consider yourself a collector?
I do consider myself a collector.
Because I always remember our first convo when I was still at Foot Locker at Richmond. You know, it was so much going on. I wanted to just stand there and talk to you about sneakers.
Right, right, right.
You know, but I was always impressed with your knowledge. You know, about everything. Because a lot of people fake like they have the knowledge, but you don't really have it.
Well, the one thing is I didn't really get heavy into collecting sneakers until 2018. And
Okay,
the first sneaker I bought was the Easter 11s. That was the first shoe I bought. But I've always been that person. I want to know what I'm buying. I don't want to know like I'm just buying it for the sake of buying it. I like the conversation behind it. I'm more of a person that I like to wear things that has a conversation piece. I'm not uh, I'm a little bit on the shy side, so I like to find things that will bring attention away from me, but also still to me to where I can still talk about something that's indirect to me, but still about me.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm the same way. I mean, I like for my sneakers to be a conversation piece, so I definitely feel you on that. Now, you know, 3 years is still a while to be in this, and I mean, you still have the knowledge from before. So, do you have a holy grail or a shoe that you're just trying to get, but you haven't pulled the trigger on, but you really want it, or you know, what have you, anything like that?
Right now, I have maybe not so much. My grails are shoes that I regret not buying,
Okay.
and like right now, it's like um the he got game 13s. I had those in hand, literally.
Mm.
I walked into the store and again talking about like I think I came at the time where walking into a store, being able to buy a shoe, I was like at the tail end where that was beginning to fade out, where I can't walk into a store and buy shoes. But the he got game 13, I literally walked into the store. I actually end up buying the Aqua 12s instead.
Mm.
And that is like, I wish I would have just bought the 13s instead. And I could have gotten both, but I really was like, I should have just went with the 13s, not knowing how it's going to fly off is probably resale and how they fly off on resale now. Like now it's like, I don't even want to pay resale. I really don't want to pay resale for anything. If I can, I guess you could say I can help it because it just to me is just ridiculous on what the cost of resale is on a sneaker on what I can actually get if I caught it on sale.
I got you. I mean, what's crazy like that 13 is special to me because that's the first Jordan I ever bought with my own money back in the.
Hmm.
I had my first little job at TJ Maxx in Woodmere on Chagrin. Um, they were a big deal in the countdown pack in '08, and they were an even bigger deal in 2013. That was probably one of the worst shoe releases I ever ran, you know, when I was with Next. But this last time, I mean, they weren't too crazy. I was at Hibbett and Euclid running that store
Hmm.
when they came out. But, you know, I don't think anybody really could predict that resale was going to be what it was. And the shoe game in general just seems like it's on steroids post pandemic. The
It
first
is.
releases after the pandemic started were kind of easy to get, the Court Purple ones, the DMP6 and the Fire Red 5. But after the Flint 13, everything changed. Um,
Well, for me, around that time, the core purples were hard for me to get. I couldn't get them. I did not hit on those. Out of everything that came out, that's the one shoe I did not hit. And then on the Flint 13s, I got a half size bigger than I normally wear. So I hit on it, but I didn't hit on the size that I normally would wear. But I mean, it's still wearable. Like I can still wear it. Doesn't the extra half a size doesn't bother me, but sometimes you just want that perfect fit in a
sure.
shoe. So, but that court purple was the one shoe. I think court purple was the one shoe that I was more so disappointed on because I couldn't. It was like, yeah, it's going to be hard trying to get shoes. And
Yeah.
since then, ones is the one thing that I struck out on every time.
Wow. I got you. I mean, it is. Because what size are you, if you don't mind me
I'm a
asking?
I'm a 6Y.
Yeah. It's crazy. I've talked about it on the show before. Sub Sneaker Vibes Only. I was actually talking with her about this on that episode where, y'all, a lot of times y'all have to pay more than us. I mean, Jordan 1s are, I'm not going to say they're worthless in my size, but they just don't. If it's not a shattered backboard, Chicago, Bread, Royal, anything else is pretty much, I ain't going to say it's a regular shoe, but it's not as much as it would be for you. And that's
Right,
something, because grade school used to just kind of be like, whatever, it
right,
wasn't hard to get until the last couple years. So I really do feel for y'all with that.
right. No, I got a coworker who wears a size 18. Yeah, size 18. And you literally get all his ones basically retail for resale.
Yeah. No, I believe it. I believe it because even like there's a Nike outlet by my house down here, and there are a couple other ones not too far away. It's always heat size 18, 17, and 18. And what the LeBrons and limited KDs, Kobe's, Jordan ones, all kinds of stuff. But it's only in those 16 and up. You know,
Right,
that's a good size to have. But on the flip, there's a lot of stuff they probably can't get, because of their size. So I don't know. I guess it's a double edged sword. So now we just talked about one challenge, but are there any other challenges you have as a woman that's into sneakers?
no, because my circle, as far as like who I'm around, they pretty much, they're fine, they're good with it. They're not. There's no challenges when it comes to me being a female but getting sneakers because most of the people I talk to about sneakers, they're more in awe that I'm into sneakers or that I even know what I know about sneakers or anything that is more male dominant. So I never really experienced the challenges because, like I said, I've only been doing it for only a few years. So to to still say I'm still kind of like a baby to all of this. I haven't quite experienced the masses of what a lot of other female sneakerheads what they deal with on a day in day out basis as far as copy sneakers or building relationships with sneaker shops or even retail places. um I haven't bumped into those problems because usually I usually look at ways on how I can work around it. Like, okay, how can I get around where I don't have to deal with that particular person? Because I worked in retail, so I know what it's like to be in retail and dealing with people and who people decide who they want to deal with because they know that person is going to give them a little, not as much of a hard time.
Got you. Got you. Okay. Okay. All right. With sneakers, do you have a tragic story or a hard L? A L you had a tough time getting over. Like, God, I really wanted those. Was it the Court
Right
Purple?
now, the core purples, it took me a minute to kind of get over because I have the first set of core purples. I have the 1.0s and I wanted the 2.0s because I like the way that one looked. I wish they did the grade school on the 1.0s like they did the men and gave that black tongue. I'm more like, I like that consistent look. I don't like to break the color a lot. Sometimes I want that consistency when it
Yeah,
comes to the way the shoe look. But I wanted the 2.0s, and then recently the UNC fours, because I've signed up to many raffles on reservations on between Foot Locker, Champs, Kids Foot Locker, and did not hit not on one of them.
gotcha, gotcha. Huh? Yeah, I've definitely taken some L's too. Probably the hardest L I've taken over the last couple of years was the Flint 13. Now I have previous releases of that shoe, but I really wanted a new shoe. I wanted to do a video on my YouTube channel because I have all the other three, the 98, oh 05, 10. So I wanted the 20 for that, but I just can't bring myself to pay resale for that specific shoe. I just can't, because I'm thinking with my pre-corona old head brain, like, it's full family. If it's full family, it should be pairs and pairs and pairs, so it should be all good. So, but you know, it's all good.
Well, that's how I thought about the UNC fours, even though they were a bit hyped up. Still, I felt like, okay, there were multiple Foot Lockers that were having reservations for them. So I signed up to the top three that I could within my area, and whatever area with all the other sites with Champs and Kids Foot Locker, you would think that I should be able to hit on one of these areas, and I got none of them. I think I got did I? I don't think I even got waitlisted.
Damn.
So it wasn't even like I got waitlisted. It was just a straight bummer next time. And I'm like, I'm not. And see, and then now, because I work mornings now too, compared to after the pandemic, I don't have that chance to sit and look at my phone or look at a computer for hours on end trying to cop a sneaker like I did with the Flint 13s. That's the only way I got them. Is because I was available in the morning to sit there and keep pressing add to cart for that size shoe until it accepted it and I was able to fulfill that purchase.
Got you. Got you. Okay. All right. Okay. So with your sneakers, how do you store them? Do you keep them in the box? Do you do the drop front boxes or?
I have some in drop fronts now, and then I have some that's still in boxes. I'm kind of like in between drop fronts and boxes. So like right now, like if it's a box that I really like, I kind of will keep it in the box. But if it's the straight black boxes, they're coming out of the box and they're going right into the straight drop fronts.
Got you. Got you. Okay. So what what's next on your radar? Like, what's the next you're looking for?
Um, the russet pink threes.
Okay. Okay.
Russet pink threes.
Now is that
Right now, I did put in the rifle for the 2.0 shadows. I did put in around for those, but it's one of those. If I get it, okay. If I don't, okay. I can kind of bypass that one just because that money I can. That's just money I can just add back on towards trying to get the threes. But right now, I can't even see those popping up. I think that's going to be a difficult buy because I don't see them on foot sites right now to even have the opportunity to see if they're going to be up for reservation because the Citrus 11s wasn't even up for reservation as the last woman release.
yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. My wife really wants those threes, so I'm hoping that 'cause they're not even on sneakers yet. So I don't know. I mean, lately it's been where I'm new here in North Carolina, and I don't really have the relationships that I have at home in Cleveland. So it's kind of like if I don't hit on sneakers, I probably just won't have it. I've kind of been able to emotionally detach myself from some of these shoes. It hasn't been easy, but I don't know. A weird thing has been happening to me. I may have said it on my last episode, but it's like I'll see the shoe months in advance, like them, want them, and the closer it gets to the release, the less I'll want them. and then by the time they come out, it's just like, I don't care. Like it happened like that with the Taupe fours and the UNC fours. I initially wanted them, but then I just didn't want them. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if the Converse is starting to get to me, but I don't know. I feel like
It goes to a back and forth. It's back and forth with me. Sometimes it goes back and forth. I'm like, oh, I really want them, and then it's like, well, do I really want them that bad? I kind of have to ask myself because I've learned because sneakers is not the only thing I collect. I go into collectibles. I have other vices that I do get into as far as collecting. Um, so I try to be very picky and make sure I'm getting it to keep. I don't want to feel like I have to sell. Like I am kind of combing through my closet even now. Like what shoes do I really want to keep and just get rid of? Like I sold a few pair already through Goat, and I use that credit to get me the Citrus 11s that are on their way now.
okay, all right. What do you feel like influences your sneaker purchases? Like what what kind of pushes it? Because like for me, it's nostalgia. But what?
Yeah, nostalgia.
Okay.
Anything that like this nostalgia, anything that takes me back. Like I posted the Mario Pumas, it's the NES Pumas. Like
Hmm.
that takes me back to my childhood. It takes me back to my childhood, playing video. Me and my sister are really big into video games. So that's one thing that I am into as far as collecting anything that's video game related. So if it's a good shoe and I like the shoe and I like the way it looks, I'm going to buy this shoe. And also another thing that kind of drives me is sale. Like that shoe I caught on sale was $50. I couldn't pass it.
Got you. Got you. Okay. Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Um, my one question I had for you was, well, what got you so deep into wanting to collect sneakers the way you collect them now?
Hmm. You know, like yourself, we're a product of the '90s, the '80s. It's kind of like the product placement, the love for sports, the love for hip hop, and sneakers. It all kind of is you know,
Mm-hmm.
like a revolving door or a circle. You know, but really just the sports because there are sneakers that I own that I probably wouldn't own if I wasn't in the sports.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like I probably wouldn't have the amount of Iversons I have or Currys or anything like that if I didn't really, mess with sports. But I always wanted to have all of the Jordans, and then it just kind of grew from that. Um, just wanting to feel like I was in a shoe store before I ever worked or ran a shoe store. I used to want to feel like that at home, walk in a room with, you know, stacks and stacks of shoes. And I never thought that it would kind of explode into what it's become. So it wasn't the plan initially, but it just kind of happened.
No, yeah. I think I had a visual. I had a vision. It was just like a vision. Like I wanted at least to have shoes that I remember growing up or shoes that I just love to have. Like I had a pair of Cortezes that I just wore literally to the ground to the point where there was no traction whatsoever. I just I just wanted to kind of like replace that and have that at my reach. Um, but definitely it was more of a vision of what I wanted to see like as an adult. Like I want to walk into a closet and have certain shoes that I really enjoy and like and being able to walk out and wear something that people going to still question because they probably ain't going don't have it or wish they had it and seen it.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I feel that. I feel that completely, you know. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really think that if I would have been older or younger, I probably wouldn't be the way that I am. I feel like I came at just the right time where, I always say I wish I was born in 1970 instead of 1980 because I would have been a teenager in the 80s instead of being a teenager in the 90s. All the shit that I love, I would have been able to experience and remember even better. But looking back now, it's like probably was born at just the right time.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's become a hobby. I'm into other things too. I do collect other things, but sneakers are still my favorite thing to collect.
Right.
So yeah. Well, I hate that I had to, do the show this way, but I'm
Hmm.
so glad that, you were able to join.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure.
You know, I look forward to future sneaker conversations with you, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you want to add anything else before we close off?
Um, I'm trying to think because I know like I try not to ask the same questions because like I said, I watch all of your. I mean, I pretty much kind of watch a lot of your episodes, so I kind of know like a lot of stuff that other people have asked and try to draw away from those questions just to kind of get something a little bit different. Um, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, and again, I do apologize. I mean, I I kind of revamped my questions with the last episode. I just, I don't have them in front of me, and I've also, I'm trying to make the lives a little bit shorter, like the last
Mhm.
2.5 hours.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I was like dozing off through half of
yeah,
it.
yeah. So I try to make it shorter and a little bit more direct to the point. But I mean, I could talk about sneakers all day. So you know, but yeah, you know, I'm with you. I have more questions to ask. I just can't think of them. I've got this furniture and shit behind me, so it's. I'm just glad that we were able to do this.
Yeah, I tried to make it at a time where I would think you was available. Plus, for me, like way I work, um, things happen all of a sudden because my day is can be unpredictable. One minute I could think I'm getting off at 4 o'clock, getting finished, getting the rest of my stops off, and next I get thrown with a curveball which stretches me out to 6. So, um, definitely, but definitely glad I was able to connect and get on live with you and be able to just, I guess, just kind of express my mind a little bit and just kind of um, let you know, like, hey, this is me, this is my collection, this is what I have, you know, um, to kind of just show, just to kind of like just show off a little bit.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, look, before I go, one more question. One more
Hmm.
question. Um, what's one shoe that you have that you can't part with?
One shoe I have that I can't part with. Oh man. Um, that I can't part with.
Like for instance, for me, I have a pair of Chicago, ones from the '95 retro. Like I've literally had them since 8th grade. They're a 10 and a half. They're a
Oh,
snug, but I feel
yeah, probably my LeBron eights. I
which one?
have the cool gray eights. I'll go get them. Hold on.
Yeah, those are great. Yeah, those came out when I was a manager at Villa. Well, now DTLR. But my only gripe with that color or that shoe, I wish they would have just made it to Dunk Man. Like the little bubble has a little hints of lime green. They should have just made the whole bubble green. That's just me though, because the Dunkman 8 being a version 3, I wasn't really pleased with it.
So
Classics.
I wouldn't part with these, and I think because this one has a little bit more. I want to say history behind it, but where I was at when I got them. So I joined the military back in 2011. I was in Biloxi, Mississippi when I purchased these at their Foot Locker at Biloxi Mall. So this kind of like entails the beginning of my military journey when I bought these because I don't have the original box because I couldn't bring it with me because I had to break everything down in order to pack it in a bag in order to ship it all the way back home.
Yeah, those
So
boxes were huge. Even
yeah, I have original box of what the H came in. And I don't even remember if this is what it looked like
yeah, it was three
because
different
I
boxes. That's the
right,
box.
I don't even remember if this is what it looked like. I just know like this is the current box of what they come in now. But I just know like this shoe is my one of my oldest shoes that I do have, and I'm waiting on him to drop to hopefully retro these again so I can have another pair just to sit while I beat these up.
All right. You wear a 6, right?
I wear a 6.
All right. I got that locked up here. If I see something, I'm gonna definitely hit you up.
For sure, definitely. That'd be great.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I appreciate you for being here, J Pinkett 6. And appreciate everybody for watching. And I'll see you guys soon.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.